All right, guys, welcome back. I'm super excited for today. If you saw my Instagram, I don't even know, a couple weeks ago, I shared his video. And of course, I sent it to Lancy, and she's like, yes, of course. But I bawled, like,
Mhm.
I bawled because y'all know my story is like, for me to meet my birth family is like soon. So I was like, oh my gosh. And just to watch it and just to see the love and how he said it's just more people to love, I was like, yes. So excited. Reached out to him. He said yes, which I'm so stoked for that he came on and wants to share his story with us. But we have Petey on, and we both don't know him very well. So I'm just going to go ahead and let him dive into his story. And we are so excited to hear. So the floor is
Yeah,
yours, sir.
awesome. Well, it's great to be on here. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been, I'm just excited, you know. Um, so I was adopted, just at a very young age. I was adopted probably about, I don't know, 2, 3 months. So no clue. I'll tell. I was adopted out to Colorado, um, to a family of, I have 8 brothers and sisters. And then I have 2 others that were adopted as well. One from Tennessee and then one from India. Um, and growing up was kind of nothing but amazing. Like my family is the most amazing. Like my parents are the most amazing people. Like I'm so close with all of them. I'm still so close with them. And yeah, I mean, it's been great. But I mean, as growing up, I knew that I was kind of adopted because I was adopted into like a white family. Um, so that was, from right
I
off the
know.
bat, I'm like, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, I
like
know my parents are
I'm
white. I
different.
know.
Yeah, yeah. They like tell me and everything, but there's never any like, I don't know, like separation or like nothing like like I'm different from everybody else. Is like we're family at the end of the day. Like,
Mhm.
um, so I mean, kind of, I guess just going through life, I kind of always been curious about, maybe finding my like biological parents if they're out there or anything like that. And I was like, always kind of curious. I think I was always kind of afraid as a, growing up. Um, just to kind of go through with it because it's like I know it was gonna be a lot, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go. Like, what if I, you know, try and contact them and they don't want me, or like or I don't find them, or like so for a long time, like I was kind of like, kind of chill. Like I, I didn't want nothing.
Yeah.
Um, because and also like I didn't want to, hurt my like family. Like I was trying to like replace them or like anything like that. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of things in it, kind of going through the years. I was, just kind of scared. I had a great childhood, had a great, you know, really everything. It was amazing. There's nothing bad about it. But I think so coming into like my 20s, like after college, um, I kind of got a little more curious, kind of, and I've been dating my girlfriend for a long time at the time, and she kind of, she knew I wanted to do it, but she knew I was kind of scared, and but she kind of gave me a little push. So for kind of my birthday, I don't know, this is probably 3 years ago, something like that. Probably, I think it was like COVID time, so like 2020, right around there. She got me like a 23andMe, like packet, like, like genetics. You sign up for it. You're like your DNA, give your DNA to people, and they, whoever signs up for it, they can find you and and everything like that. Um, so I got that, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like this is so cool, because at the end of the day, I always wanted to do it. Um, but it was, it was scary. It's something scary. So I got that, and then once you get that, you kind of connect with people on there, like. people that sign up. So it's like a third cousin, fourth cousin, different things like that. I was like, okay, like I'll message some people, see what happens. So, I messaged a couple people, I was kind of, think it would just be a dead end. And it was, I kind of went through it, and, talking to some people, a dead end. So I was like, okay, I did my job. I did, what I needed to do. I was like, okay, like now I can kind of put it away. But it wasn't until a year ago, so in May last year, 2022, I had this girl message me, um, on 23andMe and also on Instagram. And it was basically like, okay, I think um your half sister, like I don't know what's going on. Like I can show you guys that I made a video of it. It's like, I think I'm your half sister. Like I'd love to talk and get to the bottom of this. Like I don't know what's going on. Like, I was adopted as well, so I don't know, what's up, but I'd love to talk to you. And, I so I was like, okay. So I'm like, in the middle of work and everything, like freaking out. I'm like, okay, like I gotta call my girl. I was like, yo, what's going on? So yeah, like I look at that, I respond to her like, yeah, you know, that's amazing. Like I was adopted from, this place, and um, like I'd love to set up a time to talk to you and to kind of get to the bottom. I don't know what's going on. So I was kind of like shook, and so we set up a phone call, and there's also a video of us, for the first time, like me talking to her, where I was so shook, like I was so nervous, so like I didn't even know what to do. Um, but yeah, talked to her, and right off the bat, it was such like a genuine kind of relationship, and such a like like I knew her for honestly like decades, like I knew her, like we've been together forever, you know what I'm saying? So um from there, so I guess so from there we're kind of like, okay, like what do you want to like find out? Like, so I mean, we talked, for a long time, and kind of figured out how we were figuring out how we were related. Um, we're like, okay, is it through, is it bio dad or bio mom? And, eventually we kind of came to the conclusion, because I get, or see, I jump around so much. I'm sorry, but
You're fine.
I was, but like when I was adopted, I was given information about my kind of bio family. She wasn't, so I got like papers, like documents, everything. She didn't, but all she knew was like certain things that you know that the document shared. So like we kind of matched that up. So I was like, okay, like this, and we're like, okay. We're like, okay. We find out we're kind of related through our bio mom, and we're really like, you know, trying to figure out, um, like what else do we want? Like, because I really came into this just expecting to find like my bio dad or like my bio mom. I didn't really expect to find more siblings
Yeah.
in a way.
Mhm.
So this was kind of just like, now I'm just freestyling at this time. So I'm like, so, but talk and um, figure out what we want. And she's like, oh, like, I want to know, because she has a couple kids. She's like, I'd love for them to know like where they come from, and like kind of the genetics behind them, if there's anything I need to worry about or anything like this.
Yeah.
And me, I'm like, yeah, like I'd love to, at least put a face on the person, or like on the people, at least know, 'cause I'm a very curious person. So I'm like, at least know like what happened, or at least know the people and maybe have a relationship with them, maybe not, but um and then kind of from there, like she also I could out she's also been kind of interested in maybe coming on this as well.
Oh.
So I talked to her about it, but um that's another thing. But uh, so then she's like a kind of she goes all out. So I'm like, okay, like you want to know more, like you'd like to know them. You want to know like what else is out there. So she kind of goes off, goes a mama bear, kind of starts messaging people. Like I'm also kind of helping her, not as much, but she's going all out, messaging people on 23andMe, kind of maybe like stalking people, seeing like different things like that, and like kind of just trying to figure out like where we came from, and um, like find the people. And
Right.
when she started getting a little close to it, it kind of stopped. Like everything kind of stopped because I think people were getting a little scared or something. We're getting close. Um, I don't really know, but so it kind of went cold for probably about a couple months, probably about a month and a half, 2 months. Nothing really happened. No one really responded to us, and then um, out of nowhere, like our, I guess, maternal grandparents. So someone just calls her, and she's like in Target, and she's like with her kids and everything, and it's like, oh, I don't know what's going on, like. And the guy's basically like, hey, like I think your grandfather, I don't know what's going on. I heard I might have two grandchildren, or that I don't know.
Wow.
I'm trying to figure it out. So he talks to her, and he also calls me after, and it's like explains the same thing. Like I don't know. Let me get to the bottom of this. And eventually it comes back that it's um, it's my birth mom, that had two kids, and or gave them up to adoption, without, I guess, them know. I don't know what was going on at that time, or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, but then we also find out that so she kept kept older sibling
Okay.
that that they raised, thing like that. So we kind of heard that. We're like, okay, like,
Uh-oh. Is he?
like as we're talking to our grandparents, we're like, oh, he kind of explained stuff to us, and what's going on. Talk to grandmother as well. Um, and we find out we have another sibling, so we're like, okay, like we want to talk to her. We'd love to. And so probably a month kind of goes by, and we eventually talk to her, and she's like, wow, like I had no idea, like all I've wanted was siblings in my life, like that's crazy, like this is wild, like I'm so excited uh, for this. So and then kind of from there, like I may be speeding it up, I don't know, but
No,
there's a
you're
lot of
good.
detail,
You're
different
good.
things. um but then from there we kind of, I mean, we talk so much, like all the time. We have such a, great relation with both of them. Um, from there, I'm like, okay, like I get the name. I talk to my birth mom at the time, just a phone call, and talk, it's nothing but good. And, she kind of gives me the name of my bio father as well. So I was like, dang, this is a lot. It just like keeps coming, like more and more, like peeling the onion back, keep peeling.
Yeah.
So I was like, at the time, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to open more doors. But so I tell my two sisters that, like, oh yeah, I got his name, whatever. She, they right away, they're like, okay, I found him. They're like, look him up on whatever. They found him. They're like, okay, I'm gonna message him. Sent the message without me even like. I was like, oh,
Okay.
okay. I was like, all right. I was like, that was quick. So, um, shoot. So then from there, um, we go and, or I guess, yeah, probably another month probably goes by, and we, and then my sister gets a call, the older sister gets a call, um, and she like doesn't know it at the time, but the person's like, hey, like I got a message on Facebook or Instagram, trying to find this, this kid Peter or Petey. Like I don't know. I become his bio dad, birth dad, and he's like, oh, so then my older sister, like right then and there, like calls me, like, hey, like it's a normal day. It's just like, hey, what's up? Like, how you doing? Like, so then she's like, oh, hey, I think your, birth dad's on the other side. I have him on the line right now. I'm like, what? I was like, what? Hold on. 1 second. So I talked to him and it was nothing but amazing. It was nothing but great.
That's awesome.
Like talking to him. Um, and then shoot, there's just so much. Um, I So I mean, during that time, I went and met uh, my other sister. And there's a video of that the first time we met. So kind of during that whole time, I went and met her, and yeah, it was great. And then yeah, it was good. But then talking to my dad or talking to my birth dad, um, I find out I have 3 other siblings on that side. So I'm like, okay. So I talked to two of them at the time, and it was great. It was like I'm so happy. Like I've
Yeah.
always wanted a brother. I've always wanted you know, older brother. That's all I ever wanted. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. And um, and that was cool. And like grandparents on that side that called me right after, and like oh welcome, like crying, like oh like this is amazing, like I like they're just like I was praying like before I was taken from this world, like I would, if there's anybody else that's part of my family, I want to meet him, like I want to be with him, I want to at least get to meet him. So um it was really cool, like talking to him as well.
Can
And
can I ask, did
yeah,
on so this is
yeah,
on your birth dad side, and you don't have to answer, but
yeah, his birthday.
did
Yeah.
they know that they placed, or was this something all that just your birth mom did without like really anybody knowing? If you don't want to answer, that's okay. It's just a question, because like how they knew how to pray for people that
Yeah.
might be part of their
So
family. That's like, oof.
yeah. So I probably won't.
No, that's okay. That's totally
Mhm.
okay.
It's
Like I
completely
respect
fine.
that. I respect that. I just
Yeah,
wanted to,
I
yeah.
don't think they knew. Well, like most of them didn't know. I think, you know, yeah, but
Okay. No, you're good.
um,
Keep going. Keep going.
yeah, yeah. But um, so I guess from there, I kind of talked to both sides, a lot. Um, I haven't talked to my birth moms much, um, but I'm trying to think. Where did I leave off? I left off.
She was like praying that like she was so happy that she got to
Yeah,
meet
like
you on your birth dad side of the
like
family,
always
grandma,
talking. She
grandpa.
always like
Yeah.
sends me like a Bible verse every morning, like every single morning, like long Bible verse. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Is she the grandma that's in white? that one that's just
Yeah,
like
the all
hugging and loving.
white.
She was the
Yeah,
cutest. I could just
yeah.
squeeze her. She was so cute.
I always talk. Yeah, yeah, she is amazing. So, um, yeah. So I mean, we talk and kind of build a little something for a while, and kind of figuring out this whole dynamic, trying to figure out the story too, kind of filling in a lot of because there's a lot of gaps between a lot of different things. So just trying to figure out what was going on. And then, we probably this last April, I went out and visited all of them out in one place. So that's like the video of me going out there and seeing them. I went with my girlfriend and yeah, I stayed at my sister's, and then it was my grandmother's on my paternal side's 80th birthday, so that's why I went down there. So, yeah, I mean, went down there, stayed with my sister, my older sister, and then the next day we all went up and to my grandmother's 80th birthday and had a good time. And yeah, I was down there for a while, and it was great, honestly. I mean,
That's good.
it was something. It's been good. It's been a roller coaster, but um it's been good. It's grown a lot from it, so that's what's been good. So
No, for sure.
I think that's about it. Like here there. I don't know how good that was,
No,
because but
it was
yeah,
it was good.
yeah,
No, I
yeah.
get it. I get it. It takes some time learning how to share your story. So I appreciate you
Mhm.
coming on and
Mhm.
doing that because
Yeah,
I mean, the
absolutely.
more you share it, the more you're just gonna be like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
But
I
no,
know. I share it so much. I talk to literally I've shared it probably about 250 times. My girlfriend's like heard it probably that many times, just as many times as have told it, and there's just so many different details that there's. So yeah.
no, that's so great. That is no, that's awesome. And I think it's so amazing that they have been just so warm and welcoming and just I think it's great you've been able to build
Mhm.
relationships. And I know some relationships, I mean, they some stick and some don't, and that's just how the cards are played. I get
Mhm.
that. I mean, there's relationships that
Mhm.
we know of in our stories that are like that too, where it is
Mhm.
what it is. And
Yeah,
um
yeah.
Delancey, do you have any questions off the top of your head? I'm trying to think of like
I just
I
love
do have some.
how I just love how 23andMe is busting everything up.
Yeah.
No,
It's
it
like my
is.
favorite thing. It is my favorite thing.
Honestly.
Like but it's so and it's doing it in the best way.
Yeah.
Like it really is doing it in the best way because it helps fill in the gaps that
Hmm.
people may not even know in our stories. You know what I mean? Like they help
Hmm.
you feel like you were just expecting to find bio dad.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't
Surprise.
expect. Yeah, I was like, okay, like they gave me all this, like, oh, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, like 23andMe and also like Ancestry too. It's
Mm-hmm.
like that. I know a lot of people that have done that and have found, a lot of people through that, and I think that's really cool. I think just the DNA, like, or
Right.
you're able to find people now. That's it's crazy. So, yeah, but I think it's awesome. So,
I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love that. It's my favorite thing to hear any adoptee in any way that is done at 23andMe because there's always something in there that you may not have known. It's just fun. It's just I don't know. I think it's what I like about your story is that it's so fresh and there's going to be so
mhm.
much more that you're going to learn and
Yeah,
that you're going to grow from. You're going to hear stories and
yeah.
and the more you hear stories, more going to be like, oh, okay.
Hmm.
So that's why I hold my coffee cup in that particular way.
Yeah, I think that's been like the coolest thing is like to see um kind of the how I act and the way I am.
Mhm.
It's like and see like our like I've seen that I'm very like my grand or my maternal grandfather,
Mhm.
um very much like him, like our same like chill like attitude, like stuff like that. It's like so cool to see and like or like me and Alicia, I'm gonna say her name, but um me and her have just like I know what she's thinking like before anything. Like I just know, like I know what you're thinking. I
Yeah.
know you're uncomfortable. I know.
Mm.
Like it was so weird, like coming and like just like I felt like I just knew like so
Mhm.
many of them, like it was weird. And like, I've never had that. And it's like been, not to say that, my,
Right.
I'm a adopted family, that's my family. Like I'm such
Right.
great with them, but it's such like
Right.
a different relationship or
Hmm.
um that's special. That's what, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's awesome.
yeah.
I'm gonna ask. I can see your mouth moving. I was gonna ask
Well,
you
I
if
was
you were.
just,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just thinking as he was saying, being able to like, it's almost like being able to read the room instantly with biological families
Yeah.
because that's just a part of you. It's
Yeah.
a part of you. Now, and like you said, that's not taken away from our families because,
Yeah.
our families are our families at the end of the day. Like they are our families, and
Mhm.
a DNA cannot make that any stronger or make it any less. But what I love is so much is that adoptees are such a fantastic combination of nature and nurture. Like
Mhm.
everything that
Yeah.
you just said, like your family's your family, and I'm sure you have amazing qualities from them. And then
Mhm.
you're unlocking these qualities that you have from your
Yeah.
biological family that you've never
Yeah.
met until just like,
Yeah.
recently. So
Mhm.
I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for you to continue on your journey because it is
Yeah.
it's amazing and it's fun and it's
Yeah.
incredible and you're gonna learn so much
Mhm.
continuously,
Through it. Yeah.
continuously.
And like, well, that's the thing. Like, my adopted family has been like, my mom has been like, oh, I've always like, growing up, she was always like, I've always wanted to meet your, birth mom. Like, I've always wanted to say thank you. I've always wanted to say
Hmm.
thank you so much for,
I love that.
this blessing. And I was like, I get the, gets the ego going, but
Because you're
no,
a
but
gift.
it's,
Yeah.
You are a
yeah,
gift.
yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, and they went and met my maternal grandparents
That's awesome.
um, before I even did. So they went down there. Like literally, my dad was like, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go visit him. Do you want me to come? He's like, no, I'm gonna go visit them. I was like, all
That's
right,
fine.
do
It's
you?
fine. You can stay. We've
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, like do you? I was like, all right, man. But
That's so funny.
so I think that's been really good because I think that was like some of the biggest fears is um not upsetting them because that's
Right. Yeah.
that's my family, at the end of the day. And like,
Hmm.
you know, like kind of going through this, I kind of like, you know, like I'm having my girlfriend, having Alicia, um, they kind of were like telling me like, you know what, like you're gonna have a different relationship with them. Like it's gonna be a different relationship. And I started to be like, okay, like, you know what? Like my relationship is completely different. It doesn't take away like what we have is special. Like it's something amazing and it'll never be taken away. But this is just like what you said, this is more people that honestly loves me and for me to, help and love, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why I look at it now. So
I love that you dipped into that because that was my question. How are your parents reacting to it?
yeah,
So
yeah,
you
everybody
dipped
asks
right
that.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
so
it
yeah,
can
I
be
mean,
so different. You know what I mean? It really
Hmm.
can. It can be so, so, so different depending on the adoptee and their parents. So
mm,
I love
Hmm.
that. I love that there's just been so much support and so much
mm,
love. And
mm,
your parents just wanted to thank them for giving
yeah,
them you. Like Delancey said, a
mm,
gift. Like I
yeah.
love
And
that.
like
I love that.
for a while, like or like because I've known a lot of people that had kind of a bad experience with that, or like they were upset or jealous or like stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it's so weird to
Hmm.
like see my parents just like, go ahead, like
Embrace it.
I
That's
don't
awesome.
care.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, I already got 8 kids. I'm cool. You can leave.
Oh
Nah,
my goodness.
but
That's funny.
yeah, it's something really special. And it's
That's
just
awesome.
kind of my family is just huge now. Like,
Yeah.
I have
Hmm.
13 brothers and sisters now. And I have like 34, I think, nephews and nieces or something. Something crazy.
Oh my Lanta.
Yeah.
I
So
thought I had a lot.
yeah. So
I
it's
did too, but I don't.
I will never complain again ever about
yeah.
Christmas. Ever. Never
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Never.
That's why
Oh,
you
that's
do
so funny.
white elephant only. Yeah.
Yep. That's smart. That is very smart.
love
That is
it.
very, very
That's so funny.
smart.
That's awesome. No, like the thing that just caught my eye. Sorry, my son's in here, so if you hear him,
Oh, you're good.
the thing that caught my eye with your video is just the love. Like you could see it radiate from you, and then every person. This sounds really weird, but every person that you touched, you could just see like that reciprocated and totally given back. And so like it's crazy that just watching it through a video, I could feel it because I saw it and I like showed my husband. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like just so much love. And I knew Delancey would love it too. That's why I'm like, oh, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. So
I feel like that's how you know it's genuine.
yes.
When you can like actually feel it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I know some people are probably like, what are you talking about? Like, Melena, you're crazy. Delancey, you're not. No, like when you can feel it and it creates like an emotional response because you're like, oh my gosh, this is so genuine. And it's not staged.
No, agreed.
That's
Like
that
I
is
was
one
bawling. I was bawling.
Mhm.
I was like, this is so
Yeah.
beautiful. And my kids are like, what is wrong? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Mom,
Yeah.
what is wrong with you
I know.
today or
tomorrow?
And like every time I tell it, it's like gets me emotional because it like brings back like all the emotions. I think that's why I like ramble because I'm just like it brings back everything, and it's like because it's just like it wasn't all like it hasn't all been all good. It's been all I know the video like it was happy, but there was like a lot of just like right. Like sometimes I was like, dang, I wish this like maybe didn't happen. Like something like in the back of my head, like I'm so glad it did, but like going through it at the beginning, it was kind of like this is a lot. Like, can I handle this? Like, yeah, like
I
can I
promise you, we get it. We get it.
completely.
Yeah, so see, that's
Completely
crazy.
get that.
That's cool.
So you're not alone. And that's what like me and Delancey say is like as soon as you meet another adoptee, you like have this instant bond, instant friendship, because this is weird relationship that you automatically have with each other because nobody else gets it. Nobody else gets it.
No one else understands.
Like there's things after we could stop this, and sorry to the peeps that listen to this, but like we could get like talk to him more in depth about our own stories, and I guarantee you he could relate even more. Like it's just
100%.
it is what it is. But it's something that
100%.
unfortunately you listeners don't get. Sorry.
And in the words of Shelby, we don't owe you nothing.
Exactly. No, it's so true.
I mean,
we don't.
Shelby said it best. We don't owe every single part of our story.
No.
Like, so, respectfully. But yeah, no, it's if there are any two people on this planet that completely understand what you're saying without you saying it, it's us. Like completely.
And that was like also like going through it, like having because Alicia went through the exact same thing with me. It was so weird. Like we had the exact same like growing up. We grew up kind of the same. She was adopted into a white family. I was adopted into a white family. Like we found out that she married a Mitchell. Like a Mitchell, and my last name is Mitchell. So like so when I saw that, like I was like, what? Like, because when she messaged me on Instagram, it was like Alicia Mitchell, like 1.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I was like, hold on. I was like, hold on. I was like, time out. Yeah. And then and also like, or like my profile name is like Petey Mitchell 1, like _1. And hers is Alicia Mitchell 1, like before ever knowing each other. Like, crazy. And like, but I mean, going through it with her, she was such like a rock for me, like through it, because no one got it, and she was the only person that she just got it, and like that's I think that like made our bonds like so much like tighter, just because like she understands it, like knows exactly how I'm feeling. So I think that's the only way I like got through it. It was like her and my girlfriend. That's like only way. I was like,
How cool is that you had that relationship though? Not many adoptees like go through that together with another adopted sibling. So that's awesome. That's amazing.
I know. So
or at least if they do, they live in misery together. They don't actually support each other. You know what I mean? Like it's
very true.
No, I didn't think about that.
No, that's a
Yeah.
good side to bring up too. No, it's so true.
Yeah.
So true. Oh,
Yeah. So I think, yeah, just having her and having, yeah, that was just something,
support helps, that's for sure. And good support
Yeah.
helps. Yeah.
And like, you think you need to be like, at first I was like, oh, I need to do this alone. But I was like, no, like how many people are like reaching out like to me about it, and like, I'm seeing on like TikTok, like how many people are like, I was like, dang, this actually like affects people, like, and this is just like my little story, and just how much
She had
feedback.
that happen too. She
Oh,
had that happen
I
on
gotta hear
TikTok too.
yours.
Hers
What?
blew up. We'll
I gotta
have to
hear yours.
when we stop, we'll share it. We'll share
Okay.
it.
It's an envelope, but it's interesting that you say that. It's I can appreciate the the humility that you have, that you're like, my little story, but your story can be so impactful to others, whether it's an adoptee or to somebody like a birth parent, or to adoptive parents or adoptive siblings or birth siblings, or however. Your story can be very impactful, and I think it's so important. I know Milena does too. I'm gonna speak for you on this one. We think it's so important that positive stories that have, where again, we can talk more offline, but good, bad, ugly, great, wonderful, however, those of us that can come out of it going, I'm so glad I did this.
Yes.
Like, I'm so glad, and this is why I'm so glad.
Yeah.
It's so important to share that, because I don't know if you've noticed it on TikTok and Instagram, but there are a lot of people out there who tell us we're wrong for that, and it almost makes me feral. So it makes me very glad that we have somebody else on our team. I'm just being honest on that. They try to,
we're just building an army. That's all we're doing.
We're building an army of our quote unquote toxic positivity.
Absolutely.
Like,
no, like I have like noticed, or like I've had like friends, or like be like, oh, like, or reach out to their like bio family because like they saw me go through it. Like this, and I've had like, or even like my adopted brother, he was adopted from Tennessee. Like, he's been kind of thinking about doing that, like just because he saw me like do it. And he was like, maybe I'll, maybe open the door. And he was like, that's really cool. I didn't see it as that side. So I was like, dang, this is actually like doing something. And people like message me or like stuff like that. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, so many people are affected by adoption. Like, I didn't even realize it. Like, I thought like, I was like the only one like that went through it.
Nope, there's a lot of others.
There's a lot of us out there.
Yeah.
So it is almost surprising how many of us are out there, but I think it's becoming more normalized for all of us to openly talk about it.
Yeah. Because I think it's so like such a closed off kind of like,
which I never understood that. Like, I never understood that. People would be like, oh, you don't look like your sister. I'm like, oh, gee, I don't know, because adopted. Like, but you look like the other two sisters. Doesn't matter, still adopted. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, still adopted.
I know,
well,
like,
what does that mean?
Yeah. Or people would say like, my adopted brother, me and him look alike, and I'm like, I'm not like related.
Is that not the best? Is that not the best?
Yeah. So it's like, but also it's like, it's cool like to see like a lot of people don't understand how you don't like love someone that's not your blood.
That one too.
And
that one.
Amen to that.
That one. Yeah. That one. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, like so many people are like, don't understand it. And I'm like,
man.
And I'm like, like, it's like, blood doesn't mean, honestly, blood can do the worst things to you. You know what I'm saying? And so blood doesn't, like, it matters, like it does matter.
But
you also can have love like through people that aren't related, or like,
See,
So,
now we love you even more. We loved you before,
Even
but
more
we love
so.
you
Everything
even more.
like I was here for it to begin with, and I was all about it. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Now I'm like, okay, he's on our team, like flat out.
It's
yeah.
true. 100%.
Right.
Like 100%. I think my favorite thing, like in the last like few seconds, because you've said a lot of my favorite things, but when you said people don't understand how you can't love somebody that isn't like genetically connected to you.
Yeah.
And I just don't get that, because I've actually had someone tell me, well, it's different when it's your flesh and blood. Excuse me, and I'm like the crazy one out of the four kids.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm cool with Jesus, and like
Yeah.
Jesus and I are great, and I am way healed, and I'm a much better human being now, but the crazy in me is still there.
Oh,
So it's almost
gotta
like
be a
when I
little crazy.
yeah, I mean, when you hear people say that, you almost look at them and go, are you kidding?
No.
Like, I would go to war for my family. No
Yeah.
questions asked. No
Mhm.
questions asked.
Without a doubt.
I cannot say the same thing about people that I'm genetically linked to.
Yeah.
I
Like,
might just go, oh, what? Oh, huh.
mhm.
Okay. I'll think about being there. Click.
Yeah. So yeah, and like people, but it's cool to like explain to people. Like I'm like this is like, because I had so many like questions like growing up, like, oh, like you don't look like your dad, or like how is that? Or, like they just, and yet I'm
I
like,
got
that's
that
my pop.
lots.
Like when I was younger, I was kind of like you're kind of maybe self-conscious, or like I was kind of embarrassed at like a young age, like
Yeah.
being like I look different, like
Yeah.
I
I
wish
get
I
that.
had this.
Yeah.
But like now it's like I'm like I celebrate it. It's like,
Yes.
yeah, that's my pops. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Right.
Exactly.
So, but it's like it's crazy. It's like,
Yeah.
but it took a long
Well,
time to get there. So
right. No, and it does.
mm,
It's insane though, the questions, like you said, people will ask you or people will say, and it's 9 times out of 10, it is out of straight ignorance and not
Yeah.
out of malice.
Yeah.
It's when they double
yeah.
down.
Right.
Mhm.
When
Yeah.
when you lovingly correct them
Mhm.
or lovingly educate them, and then they double down even more, and you're just like,
Yeah. Yeah, God, yeah, come on.
like,
I haven't had too
bro,
much of that, but
I just try to explain to you that this is my dad, and that's like, this is my dad, period.
yeah,
There is no follow
there
up.
is no, yeah.
There is no
My
follow up.
pops,
This is
he
my
raised
dad.
me. That's it.
Exactly.
You know. So yeah.
No, and I love that you shared that there's hardship, because that's one thing I think that people need to know, because like you said, we saw your video and it's like this
It's all good.
joyous, happy,
It
you know
ain't
what I
all
mean?
good.
It's just what people see. But I love that you say that. And like Delancey said, people don't need no details of it, but people do need to know that it's not all rainbows and butterflies. Like it's
Yeah.
just not. Like there's you're
Right.
human. It's hard. Relationships are hard. They're not
Yeah.
easy. And
Absolutely.
some don't click.
Yeah.
And it's okay, and it's hard, and you have to grieve and go through that process, but then you come out better in the end.
Exactly. Like
You know, yeah,
like I feel like I've grown so much just from like going through this and experiencing this, and like I'm so glad I did it, because I think kind of what I feared was, coming to the end and not finding anything,
yes,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah. I get
something,
that. I get that.
I can relate to that
So like
too.
I'm so glad I did it when I did. Yeah, it's like it's it's good and bad, but
Right, right.
I don't know. I just kind of went into it. Like I think through this process, I just went into it very open.
Yeah,
Like I didn't
yeah,
have expectation, because
right,
maybe I come into this and maybe they hate me.
right,
Then you gotta be ready for that. Like,
right.
That.
And that's hard as an adoptee,
yeah,
especially when you're somebody that I can tell that's like me and Delancey. Now I'm going to speak for Delancey, that has a big heart and loves everybody and wants to give love to people to receive that love back.
yeah.
So, and you can tell that like from you. So you don't want to be rejected, but at the same time, you got to protect your heart. I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Or like my thing, I'd be like, you're gonna like me by the end of the day. no matter what. Like,
That.
I love it.
yeah,
I love it.
It's a
so
challenge
true.
accepted. You
yeah.
will
I'm
love
like,
me.
you're gonna like me, no matter
You're gonna
what.
like me.
I'm gonna keep knocking on that door, just like.
I love it. I love it so much. So much.
So,
Okay, Delancey, do you have any more questions for him? And then we can stop this and maybe we can talk a little bit more out there. Sorry, guys. Like, I want to ask him a couple things if he's willing to share with us.
oh, actually,
So, is there any advice, which you've given so much good advice already, but like to adoptees that are wanting to search for their birth parents? What is the big, I mean, you kind of just gave a really good golden nugget before this, but is there anything else you can think of, advice you would give a fellow adoptee, which it sounds like you've had people come to you going through this process, if they do want to search out for their birth parents?
I think really two things. I think I've already hit on them, but is have support. You gotta have people behind you. I think you gotta have, your loved ones there. Like, you can't go through it alone. I think the second one is just be open. Like, don't you want, like, you want a picture at the end of it. Like, you want them to like love you and want everything to, be great. And like a lot of times it's not like, but also it can be good. I think so. I think the biggest thing is just going with open, like, and just be ready. Like, don't expect, I don't know, like, don't expect something and you'll be like, yeah, I don't know.
No, it's true. No expectations.
it's
Don't set
very true.
expectations. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's, so I think, I think those two things are like the biggest thing that I would tell, I think, someone else is, have support and have an open heart, have a, open mind. So
I love that. Oh, I love that so much. Well, thank you for joining us and taking some time out of your night to come join us. We really appreciate it, Delancey. I can see you. I stumbled over my words. Okay. But seriously, we so appreciate it. I am so grateful that you said yes when I reached out to you. Like, seriously. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out, guys, but I'm going to make him stay on with us for a sec so we can talk to him. Anyway, thank you so much, Petey, for joining us. You guys should go follow him. I can tag him, all those good things. And seriously, go follow him. He's got some pretty cute videos.
Thank you so much. It's been awesome. It's been great.
Thank you.